Wilby and Harry by Sally Chambers. From the first time they met, Wilby and Harry had been the best of friends. They had known each other since they were babies, and they did everything together. They learnt to walk together, they learned to talk together, they went to school together, they sat in class together, they walked home from school together, and they played together all the time. Most of the time they played football. At the bottom of Harry's garden was an old shed. But this was not just any old shed. This was Wilby and Harry's den. If the weather was bad, it was their favourite place to play. Wilby and Harry loved their den. Each week they saved some of their pocket money to put in the jar. When the jar was full, they would go to the shops to buy some special things for their special place. When it rained, they would sit inside the den reading magazines and cutting out pictures of their favourite teams. One day the jar was very full indeed. Wilby took it down from the shelf and he and Harry went out as usual. But today wasn't a usual day. It was a day of the grand school fair. Wilby and Harry were very excited. First they bought some fairy floss, then they tried to hook a fish, then they had to guess the weight of a cake, then they had to try at the hoopla. Soon the jar was looking quite empty. Harry shook the money onto the grass. "What shall we do next?" he asked as he counted the coins. "Look over there," shouted Wilby. "A raffle to win a signed football." There was just enough money to buy 2 tickets. Wilby and Harry sat together on the grass and waited. Finally, it was time for the winning number to be called. Wilby held on tightly to his ticket. He was very excited. And the winning number is 127. Wilby couldn't believe it. His ticket had won. He rushed up to collect the prize. We've won, shouted Harry as Wilby came back with the ball. "But my ticket was a winner," said Wilby. "The money was from the jar. We always share treats from the jar," said Harry. But it was too late. Wilby was already rushing home with the prize. Wilby was very proud of his new ball. He showed it to his mum and dad. He showed it to his auntie and uncle. He showed it to the next door neighbours. He even showed it to the postman. At night, he put the ball right next to his bed so that when he woke in the morning, it would be the first thing he saw. The next day, Wilby asked Harry if he wanted to come and play, but Harry said he didn't feel like playing. So Wilby took Harry his favourite book to read, but Harry said he had read it already. At tea time, Wilby took Harry a piece of cake, but Harry said he didn't like cake. On Monday, Harry didn't want to sit next to Wilby at school, and that week he wouldn't walk home with Wilby. And the next weekend, Wilby had to play football all on his own. Wilby was very upset. That night, he was so upset that he couldn't sleep. He lay awake, staring at the ball. He really missed the den, but most of all, he missed Harry. So he decided what he must do. As soon as it was morning, Wilby rushed around to Harry's house. Harry was playing football on his own in the garden. "I'm very sorry, Harry," said Wilby, creeping through the gate. "I don't want the ball. I just want to be friends. Please, I want you to have it." It was a little time before Harry looked up. Wilby felt nervous because he really wanted his friend back. "Couldn't we share the ball?" Harry said finally. "We could keep it in the den with all the other treats from the jar. Wilby was delighted. Harry had been hoping that Wilby would come around. He didn't really want to be cross with him. "I really miss coming to play with you," said Wilby. "I really missed you too, Harry." And they dashed off to choose an extra special spot in the den for their ball. Wilby had learnt that friends were very special, and he decided he didn't want to lose his ever again.